If I get up in the morning and I can do one nice thing for someone today, then I'm satisfied with my day.
Steve Fay works for Impact Junk Solutions, a social enterprise in London, Ontario. Impact Junk Solutions is a revenue-generating business with a strong mandate of sustainability. They charge to pick up junk, divert it from landfill, and give it away for free to needy families. The company was born in the economic downturn of 2008. The wave of downsizing hit people with mental illness especially hard. Everyone was at risk of losing their jobs, and the already small odds of getting hired had just gone a lot lower.
We employ people with mental illness to go out into the community to do the work. They get paid minimum wage or better, so it's not a sheltered workshop. That money goes back into their pocket, so instead of giving them a handout, we're giving them a hand up.
Before we actually even officially launched, we went to the clientele at Watch, people that were using our services, and we pitched the idea to them because it couldn't just be something we created and we threw it out there and said, here, now go do it.
It had to come from the people doing the work, and they came to Watch with ideas. Some had experience driving a truck, others wanted to do cleaning. So they tailored Impact Junk Solutions to fit the needs and strong abilities of employees like Greg and Steve.
But the people who applied early on were people that were coming from other jobs with high skill and ability, but because of the stresses of mental illness or life circumstances, were no longer employed at those organizations. So they were looking for work, they were looking for meaningful work, and they wanted to do something that meant something to them and that they could give back to their community.
Steve Fay brings a wealth of experience to Impact Junk Solutions.
I don't think any of us can say enough good things about Steve, and his story is amazing.
He had a successful career at Cuddy Foods and Cargill, making over $100,000 a year as a top-level manager. He had a big house and a pool, a car and a motorcycle, but he also had an embarrassing secret.
If somebody asked me to stand up and read 3 paragraphs on a page, I would like butter in a microwave. It's hard to believe that I actually accomplished everything I did.
Steve was a highly sought-after manager and leader in the food industry. He also struggled with the fact that he could not read or write, a disability for which he'd been bullied and abused as a child.
So everybody thought that I was probably the most successful person that they knew, and I guess if people say if you get all the toys you win sort of deal. Well, I had all the toys, but I didn't get to enjoy them because everything that I had and I bought and I done was like was almost like fairy tale, and it wasn't true.
And that stress took its toll. Steve started drinking after work. Beneath the facade was a guy who was petrified his peers would find out he couldn't write a report or read an email. He lost his job and wound up on the street, addicted to drugs and living under a bridge.
It was very difficult to straighten out my life. Watch had a lot to do with it. They gave me a place to live. They came and got me out of the hospital. They supported me in all the things. They gave me an opportunity to come work for Impact Junk Solutions.
We gave him the opportunity, then he took it, ran with it, and turned it into something better than we even imagined could happen.
I mean, our guys are going in and we're changing people's minds, literally, and this sounds corny, one junk removal call at a time, where the customer will say, I know you employ people with mental illness, but not those guys, right? Not the guys that swept up after the job or the ones that did this. And we say, yes, it's all of our employees are living with a mental illness of some kind or another. So we feel we have a duty and a role here, and most importantly, an opportunity to start changing some of that social stigma around mental health.
If you look at the research is very clear. You hire a person with a mental illness or a developmental disability, if they're healthy, their absenteeism rates are almost nil. Your HR problems are almost nil. They cost less to maintain than most other employees.
For our metrics look like this. So we have 13 staff that we employ. So these are people who most likely otherwise would not have a job. So these are people with mental illness who are now working. To this point, we've paid out $144,000 worth of salaries, which is commendable considering they get to take that money and determine how they're going to spend it and how they're going to support themselves.
Social enterprises like Impact Junk Solutions keep Watch at the forefront of mental health services. Impact Junk Solutions is about having a positive impact on people with no negative impact on the environment.
We're the only junk removal company with a dump truck that's never been to the dump.
And we also do some great things with the environment, so we recycle. So a lot of the items you see behind me will go into someone's home here in London because it still has a second life and it's still useful material. It's not considered junk. So all those things are part of our social enterprise, part of our way of making the community a better place.
Impact was a carefully selected name. Part of our business operations is to work with a triple bottom line, which is different than a lot of businesses, but it's very different from a lot of junk removal companies. So we worry about people, the planet, and being sustainable. The amount we recycle since we started just close to 17 months ago is a little over 120 tons of material that's been diverted from landfill.
To this point, we've helped somewhere between 40 and 50 families, some of them to the point where they furnished their entire homes from our warehouse. So it's a pretty special feeling when we can do that.
You know, we let the clients know that the big impact of all of the things that we do. Their stuff is being given to somebody that actually really needs it. And you know, you make them feel good about it too. You know, somebody hires us to go get their stuff, we go there, we explain to them that, you know what, that bed, that dresser is gonna go into a little girl's or a little boy's room and they're gonna have somewhere to sleep tonight besides on the floor. And that's a huge, huge impact on their lives.
There is no government money supporting Impact Junk. Watch only provides administration support with a goal of ensuring it remains a social enterprise rather than a social service.
It's very important that if we're going to see social enterprise flourish, that it is something that is sustainable. And sustainability means, at the end of the day, it's great that we employ folks with mental illness. That's part of the bottom line. But that employment doesn't exist unless there's a profit.
The money we make goes to support people like Steve, to people who are looking for that second chance at times. And that's really, really special.
We lived in subsidized housing, but we have a nice, clean house. You know, the laundry's done, my son goes to school with nice clothes, and that's what the, you know, Impact Junk Solution brings to the table for me. You know, I make $10.25 an hour. I don't make $47 an hour anymore. But I can tell you I'm a lot happier making $10.25 an hour and feeling the way I feel about life in general.
I think they're at a stage where we need to decide whether we can find the resources to expand, and whether we do that through financing, social financing, or find an investor who might want to help, or collaborate with another business. We're not sure.
We're really not even in the junk removal business. It's just what we do day to day. We're in the growing people business. We take someone who was facing a ton of challenges and barriers and was at a low point. We give them an opportunity to be something else, to be something more, create a new identity. And that's what our goal is for the future, is to grow more people. Grow more people in London, grow more people in other cities, and make that impact more widespread.